who I paid no $18,000. I ain't did no work yet.
Where y'all get that copy from?
Wait a minute, it's in the mayor's report. Wait a minute, it might be because I think I ended up paying Smithman on some money that was, that bill, but was that last year?
That one in your account. That should have been in yours. That should have came out of the last council. Even though it's in that everything, it should be showing.
Oh, no, that ain't been that money.
It should be showing up in this.
All I spent was $5,000.
But also,
I said, I'm like,
I just glanced at it, so.
I like to look at it because I keep looking.
This is your shit though.
Hey, we got Wi-Fi in here? I ain't got no Wi-Fi.
You got no Wi-Fi?
No.
You sure?
I can't
I can't no one else that you check. And I can't on your betting check.
Let's check it.
Anybody got a hand those? Hand cream?
I've been trying to make it, but I ain't gonna do it.
Nigga got a hand cream?
Oh,
He got nothing.
I don't think so. Let me see now.
You knew?
Got fun last night?
Oh, man.
How many better?
Hey, brother, how you doing? Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Good to see you.
How many
Good to see you. Good to see you always.
He got one big one, so
We
please.
had a good
Yeah,
time.
I just say you got one bigger.
Even he could not finish eating. That's how much food was involved. Yes. But I think I showed I can eat pretty good too.
Yeah.
I showed that I kept up. I had to stop.
I don't know if it's quality or speed.
It's both. It's both.
It's so fast. What's going on?
I finished mine off for breakfast.
Yeah.
I finished mine off for breakfast.
That's good.
It was fun. Though. It was
Good.
fun.
I hate on that.
We're going to start doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I ain't got
Did you get information about Washington?
I ain't got
No, not yet. But we need to get that right.
They miss it, don't
We need
back
to,
out.
we need to put some funding. We're gonna put some money in our account. So we're going to. I mean, I know me and you can usually Mike though, and I think Councilman Randolph.
NLC, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now y'all know
I know
that
Mike,
we had a huge problem with it last year.
Yeah.
There's a possibility they have that huge.
So we need to start. Well, you start now.
So we can ask for our credit card, and we can ask us this last year.
But what I'm saying is,
We just started.
there's some of y'all that just want to pay for your own life now.
And then get
And
ready.
you're reimbursed. And then some of y'all don't want to pay for it.
Jamie, you should go this year too.
I don't want to go to Washington. I've been there before. I ain't going to Washington DC.
They going to Washington.
When y'all go to Washington?
Maybe it's in March.
March 23rd.
It depends on who I can hire and when I can hire.
Okay.
Find somebody that's like, I'm looking for it.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Hey,
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Joseph. After I
good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Here we go. All right, this is our first work session of the new year, 2023. Our work session is officially called to order. At this time, let us pray. Bow your heads, please. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for allowing us to come together and to assemble, to conduct the business of the city of Selma. God, all of us are so thankful that you allow us to see another year.
Yes, Lord.
We are grateful, dear God, that you allowed us to witness and go through 2022 and go through a lot of challenges, a lot of difficulties. But God, you saw fit to let us be here today. Let us be here tonight. And we give you thanks and all praise for that. God, as each one of us turn the page to a new year, we ask, dear God, that you enter into our hearts, enter into our minds, and allow us to do those things that are good and right in your sight.
Yes, Lord.
God in heaven, direct our words so that we may not offend one another. Give us the right things to say to one another so that we can work together in peace and in love. God in heaven, you have given us the best example of love, for you gave us your son Jesus, and we thank you for that. God, we ask that you allow this to be a very great year for Selma, Alabama. We pray, dear God, that all of our citizens, that they are better off this year, that you give them happiness, you give them joy. Allow them to keep on pushing, to keep on making it, God. God in heaven, we thank you for one another. We thank you for the friendship, the sisterhood, brotherhood that we're forming. We ask that you keep on helping us and directing our path. We ask these are the blessings in your precious son, Jesus. Let each and every one of us say, amen. Amen. All right, let us stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. You may be seated. At this time, we'll have our roll call. So, council members present, please respond accordingly. President Young, present. Councilman Harville. Councilwoman Kristen Thomas. Councilman Carmichael.
Present.
Councilwoman James.
Present.
Councilman Randolph. Councilman Jemison.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Jane Thomas.
Present.
And Councilman Johnson. All right, thank you, council, for responding to the roll. If you look at our agenda tonight, it's not as long as previous agendas have been, and we are grateful for that. So let us use our time wisely tonight and try to perform our responsibilities with diligence, but also keep in mind the time. So we do not have any citizens' requests to the council. There are no individuals listed. At this time, we'll do any announcements if you have announcements. Remember, you can make your announcements now, or you may also make them on Tuesday.
Right, I need to make an announcement.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, the Red Cross, I need to, let me see. The Red Cross is coming into District 7 to place fire extinguishers in the homes, and I want some of my residents to in Ward 7 to know that hopefully I will be with them, and in some of the areas that in our district that would like to have the fire extensions in their home. So I want y'all to feel free and welcome them. They're coming into our district, and we're going to be going out to some of the residents to see if you would like to have the fire extension placed in your homes Saturday. And my location. It's Monday. Well, it's Monday. Well, I'm saying Saturday. She was saying about the location, the area that we'll be going into, and some of the areas that I'm looking at are the areas that we've been having a lot of fire in our neighborhood. So I want the citizens in District 7 to welcome them when they come out to see if they would like to have it in their home. And it would be Monday, but we'll be Saturday.
Is this for just Ward 7?
Well, that's what it was told to me it was called.
No.
Yeah, but they said they wanted to start over there Saturday.
Okay. Any other announcements before I add on to that?
Yes, and Ward 4, and this is going to be for the whole city of Selma. I am putting weather radios. If you know anyone that need a weather radio, please let me know. We're trying to put one in every senior citizen home as well as if anybody else needs one. We're going to do a press release on it, but now all I need is your phone, your address, and your name, and I tell you that this week it helped me. When that thing went off, I was jumping. So every home needs a weather radio. If you don't have one, Just give me your contact information. If you know someone, give it to me, and we will give one to them.
Excellent. Excellent. Councilman Carmichael.
Ward 3 will have a ward-wide meeting on January the 17th at 5:30 p.m. at the Arsenal Place Accelerator Building at 22 Church Street. And then we'll have a ward cleanup on Saturday, January 28th. And time to be announced.
Ward 4 will have their first of the year ward meeting on January the 19th, 5 o'clock at Selma High School.
Also, I'd like to make an announcement too. Ward 7, we will want to have a ward meeting this month. I will let everyone know I'm trying to set a date because it's important. I got some things with backlog from last year that we need to give an update on some of the things that have been done in Ward 7. And hopefully everyone will be able to come to the board meeting because I'm going to be here and also talk about some of the issues that we've been facing. And I hope this year that we'll be able to take care of some of those problems in Ward 7. And on January of this month, I will be going to Birmingham to a convention. This is my 6th year representing the city of Selma in Dallas County, which is Ruby. We'll be going to Keep Mississippi Beautiful convention where we all come from different parts of Alabama discussing how we can keep our city clean.
All right, is that it? Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Any other announcements? Council members, could you please make sure you get those dates for your ward meetings and your various events to Council Secretary so that she can place them on the calendar. Y'all know she does a calendar for us. Yes. And there's a lot of events. That was a lot to remember. So we thank her for her service, and we thank her for doing that calendar for us. So please, please get those dates and times to her so that all of us can be aware of the various activities and be able to participate. And I'll talk a little bit more about what Councilwoman Thomas was talking about and what Councilwoman James was talking about. As we go, I'll talk a little bit more about those. All right. Now we'll go next. Each one of you should have received by email a copy of the mayor's report. We'll wait till Tuesday. When you don't have it by email?
I don't know what's going on. I don't get your emails. I'm not getting anything.
You don't have anything?
She sent it.
Yeah, Nikki sent it. Mrs. Ellison sent it to us.
Yeah.
Well, let's make sure that you get that soon. Anybody else that doesn't have it, please let us know. But there were 6 items on there, and you have an opportunity to review those. And when the mayor's with us on Tuesday, feel free to ask your questions at that time. There's really not much we can respond to because we don't know the answers. So we'll wait till Tuesday to get those responses. Please turn your attention to the attorney's report as well. There were hard copies of the attorney's report that was placed on everyone's chair. And we also received that by email late this afternoon. The attorney did inform me he would not be able to be with us tonight. So please look over those items. I think there are a total of 4 items on the attorney's report. So please make sure you look over those and bring your questions for him. I think with him, if you do have a question prior to Tuesday, if you email him and email his assistant, Ms. Deborah, make sure that you CC her on that. He can maybe respond to that before Tuesday if you have a question for him. So you may want to seek counsel from him that way. If not, you can bring your question on Tuesday and allow him an opportunity to respond at that time. All right, now we'll move on to our business items. We do have 2 additions to our business items. We're going to have Councilwoman James is going to come after Councilman Carmichael. And then we're also going to ask Mrs. Ellison to provide us with some information concerning the business item after Councilwoman James. So those are the two additions to the business items. So Councilman Jemison, you are up. You have the first item, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
Before me, I have a follow-up and a finish up. That Mr. Jerry Woods will finish. The location was Canning Street. The job consisted of fixing the sanitary sewage line and a 30-inch storm drain. And it was completed on 11/8/22. And the location of L. Anderson Street, the job consisted of fixing a manhole in the 6-inch sanitary sewage line that busted. It was completed on 11/8/22 also. And they both was compared at $6,000 each. And I'd like to finish paying them off, and so he'll be a satisfied businessman and helping us in the city.
All right, any questions about that? Any questions? So both of them were busted?
Yeah.
Pipe was busted, okay. All right, so those are emergencies.
Yes.
All right, and so we'll move on now to the next items. And Councilwoman Thomas, you have 4 items.
Yeah, when let me see, can I see the okay, project performed on Valley Creek. I'm very, I need some information because I brought this before the body of the council, and I wanted to know how much that project, before the work was done, the layout on what they was going to do, who the contractor was, that work has been done, but it's not done right. It's, I believe in, when we doing work in, especially on the main street on Valley Creek, once they fix the repair, I think they should go back and pave the street, because when it rains, whatever they put in there, it makes it back the same way. And I don't know how much that project was that the city paid for to be done at Valley Creek Circle. I think they need to go back and look at that. I'm requesting a layout structure of what the contractor did and how much, I think it was, I don't know how much it was for that to be done, but it's not, it needs to be done over again, I think. My next is the project on Lauderdale in Mentor. I am very, we're spending money to repair the streets. From what I've seen, and now it began to, the concrete is cracking. And there, it just look, it's not look, I would say, it needs to be where if they fix it, they go back and pave it. I'm trying to understand why we pouring concrete and it leaves a big old opening when the cars drive across, it's cracking again. And we're spending money on these projects, but it's gonna have to come back. So I'm trying to figure out what is the plan that they I need to get a report on it. What are their plans to come back and pay this? It's just not, I say, up to the standard for the city of Selma, where the streets are supposed to be fixed correctly. There's no asphalt at all. It has concrete, and it looks, it's shady. It's just not right. I would like to get a detail on that, what was the amount and what was supposed to be done, because we're gonna have to go back and have that finish it up, because it's not finished up. So I'm trying to figure out how did that end up, the amount that came from to do that labor work for the contract. So I need a detail on that.
If you look at item 1 in the mayor's report.
This only?
Yes, ma'am.
I know. I look at it and I said something too. Okay, my next item is the emergency work on 4th Avenue. We got some serious issues, over there in that area between 4th Avenue and, Kayshawn. The sewage keep backing up, but I had to go out yesterday. Ms. Coleman, she called me several times during this week. She been dealing with backup sewage coming all in her yard, all around her house, and running back from behind all out in the street. So I want to ask that I know we've been using an engineer. I think they need to go look at it and see what can they do for that area over there, because a lot of those people in that residence been having this problem for a long time. And when we put the work order in for emergency for them to go over there, the guy went over there Sunday, and also Ms. Coleman spent $90 out of her pocket. So she texted me and told me, and but I can't reimburse her because it was a city issue. And I need them to get an engineer to see what we can do for that area over there, because most of those people in that area are having a major problem. I'd like for the treasurer to give me a detailed legend on the $10,000 that was spent, that Councilman Johnson said that he had spent $10,000 award 7 for asphalt. And in some of those streets, and I want to know where the $10,000 asphalt was spent, because it never came before the body of the council. That funds, I'm the representative, and funds were spent out of our funds, said that they would purchase $10,000 worth of asphalt, and we didn't vote on that. So I want to find out from the treasurer who approved that, and it was never brought before the body of the council, because the location of the streets that I'm still having a problem, no asphalt was there. So I want to know where did the $10,000 asphalt was purchased and placed in what streets.
Councilwoman Thomas, I don't know, you gave us that information tonight, and of course, nobody up here to answer those questions. But I don't know if you remember, we worked out like an arrangement with those questions that you had out. If the mayor is present on Tuesday, you can ask him those questions, or you can put them on the record with the clerk. Like I said earlier, there's nothing we can do about that tonight. But in the future, you might just you can put it on the agenda, but there's nothing we can do. Just bring it to the meeting, put it on the record.
The reason why I put it on the work session, because this is the work session, and I address these issues. So even though if they're not here, I'm quite sure they'll listen. By that time, the treasurer or whoever okayed the funds to be spent, the $10,000 for
I was just saying, the way we've been doing it, and it's been successful, it's been, that when we have the meeting on Tuesday.
Well, I asked
put it on the clerk. Yeah.
I asked
Okay. All right, moving on now to the next items. Councilman Carter.
Yeah, stop signs, we've got stop signs down, stop signs faded, throughout Ward 3, and I want to purchase about 15 stop signs for Ward 3, and I've got some quotes, and I'll make sure everybody has that in their inbox before Tuesday's meeting.
Yeah, thank you, I would like that too, because I have some that would stand.
So you want to bring us some stop signs on Tuesday, too?
Thank you.
James, stop signs. Okay, thank you for that. And now, Councilman James, I think you need to add an issue that you want to talk about.
Yes, I need to add an issue about, I have some alleys, and I had to, unfortunate to see some young kids running up and down these alleys, and by the time I pulled up, you couldn't even find them. So I have asked several times for these alleys to get cleaned out. I don't know why, and I'm not quite sure why. So I'm going to take the initiative to go ahead and get them cleaned out for safety reasons, because I wouldn't want nobody's, and also when people break in your houses, they have ways of going through the alleys. And once you put that light out there, you can't find it. So I have had my Ward 4 has been begging for these alleys to get cleaned out, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And I got a quote from Snow's Cleaning Service for $5,500 to make those alleys clean all the way through. And I told him I needed to see one end to the next end before I release it and we'll finish. So I just wanted to bring that up and maybe on Tuesday to have a yes vote on to. And also I want to transfer this money from my Lord this money.
Okay. All right. And so if we could get down with the consent agenda, if you get that information to Ms. Ellison, we can get that on the consent. Okay. All right. Very good. And now, Mrs. Ellison, I think you had something you needed to add.
I have an invoice here. I called Mr. Woods, Mr. Jerry Woods from Woods Construction. He spoke with Mr. Hicks and he said it was okay if I bring it up. He just forgot to add it in the report. It's the job that was on First Avenue and Franklin Street about a couple weeks ago. It's where the water leaked back in, where the water main got hit accidentally because it was marked wrong. But the job was $35,200, and it's going to come out of fund that account 564.
Okay. And if we can get that, the verbiage, we'll take care of that. Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Anybody else have any items they need to add?
I have one more.
Yes, ma'am.
I need to find out about our code enforcement because I had a contractor doing work for me, and I put a work order in for a vehicle to be moved. It's a spot that he couldn't get because of the vehicle, so he has to go back. So I need to find out, do we have an APO certified code officer in this working for the city? Because this man got to come back. He was doing it. He tore the house down, but it was a section, and we was trying to get the car removed. I had Ms. Edison put a work order in for the code enforcement to come out and tag a vehicle to move. Also, I have another to be voted on Tuesday, but I want to find out is this house on what we voted for the $200,000 demolition property to be torn down? And I wanted to know if that house was a state house. And I want to know if that house is on that list where they have to get ready to process of demolishing those houses.
Again, you can present those questions unless somebody has an answer up here.
I'll say something.
Okay.
In addition to that, I'm hoping, I think the last meeting we asked for more information on those state-owned houses. I'm just hoping, and they said it sounded like a pretty good plan. I'm just hoping that they'll get us that stuff in writing to show us the plan, and maybe it'll have that in it.
And that's what I'm trying to find out because the resident at this house, we've been trying to get it down for a while. And, she asked, and I wanted to know before. I know the council voted for over $200,000 to tear down these houses, and I don't know if that house is in before I use my funds.
Yes, ma'am. All right. And then the next couple of items. My first item, a nepotism policy. We do have a personnel manual that we did receive from Auburn, and we appreciate that. I was not quite clear, maybe I missed it, the nepotism policy portion. It might be in there. Did anyone see a nepotism policy in the new manual?
No.
And like I said, I may have missed it. I missed it. But I do think, as many other cities have, we need to have a nepotism policy. And I think that it needs to be included in this new personnel manual. Other cities that have personnel manuals would include something like this. I do realize, I looked at the mayor's report, that we did get something from HR about a time rush on this. And I understand all of that, but I still want to get this right because employment law can be very expensive. You all know we have a lot of the bulk of our cases that we have pending are employment law cases. That's taking a lot of money from us, from the city. And so if we get the right thing, we won't have some of these issues. So we need to include a nepotism policy, in my opinion. And so I am asking the attorney that we secured, Ben Goldman, to work on a nepotism policy. I have one that I've been working on, but he handles this area of litigation. And so hopefully he'll take a look at it and we'll be able to add that to the personnel manual. As you saw in the mayor's report, they want us to have something approved by January the 13th. I don't know when Attorney Goldman will finish reviewing the personnel manual. I don't know if he'll have it done by then or not. I guess I will try to find out. But we gave it to him for a reason, because he has employment law specialists in the firm that's representing us. And so they have that manual, and they're reviewing that. And if there's no objection from anybody, I want to add the nepotism policy as a possible part of this personnel manual. And I think that that is transparent, and the city and citizens of Selma are owed for us to be fair. And nepotism, we want to make sure we avoid that at any cost. The next item that I have on is the MLK Day of Service. Councilwoman Thomas alluded to the activities for the MLK Day of Service. That's going to be on Monday, January the 15th. 16th. January the 16th will be MLK Day this year. So on a Monday, as always it is. And Auburn University is sending students down from two groups, the Black Student Union and the Alternative Breaks. Those groups are coming down. They will converge on Selma as they've done in the past. Last year, they cleaned up Ward 3, Ward 4, and Ward 7.
Very appreciative.
And it was a very good cleanup. And of course, Mr. LaMarcus Snow offered all of his assistance. And so, and then in addition to that last year, they actually went to several nonprofits and worked inside, worked on playgrounds. They worked on some buildings, paint, they did a lot. And so this year, as Councilwoman Thomas stated, they are going to be helping to install smoke detectors in homes. I know in Ward 7 they'll be doing that, and in other wards where there are people that want smoke detectors, they'll be helping to assist to install smoke detectors in folks' homes. And also we'll be doing a cleanup in Ward 2 and Ward 6, I think. And so I will get with Councilwoman Thomas and Councilman Jefferson to find out the route that they would like for them to clean up during that time. It's a really, really good relationship that we have with Auburn University, where they send these students here to really work. And you can see after they're done, it looks good. Unfortunately, people throw paper down the next day, but it looks good. And it's a good gesture. So, MLK Day of Service with Auburn University on Monday, January the 16th. And so they'll start that morning, and I think they'll finish up that afternoon for lunch, and then we'll have a program with them, similar to what we did last year, Councilwoman James. And so we're looking forward to that on next week, or the week after. With that, they've been doing this for several years. So we drafted a resolution for them. I placed it on everybody's desk. So look for that, and we'll get a resolution number. Hope Ms. Ellison will be able to secure that for us, and we'll vote on this resolution on Tuesday to present to them. They come down and offer hours of service. The very least I think we can do is acknowledge Auburn University and these young people. These are young people that could be doing something else on that day, but they're doing something kind. And so whenever you see a young person doing something that they don't have to do, we really need to acknowledge that, because we want them to continue and pass that on to generations behind them. That's how service works to keep it going. So please review that resolution and be prepared to vote on that on Tuesday. The next item the Land Bank Authority. We received that several weeks ago from the mayor and the attorney, and we referred that to the Revenue Committee, and we've also referred the ordinance to the attorney to review. Some of us have some changes and adjustments to the ordinance. In particular, council, a creation of the Land Bank Authority. That Land Bank Authority would essentially be doing what we do when it comes to properties. If you know, whenever there's a sale of a property, it comes before the council for a vote. That's what we've been doing. Well, if we create this authority, we would be giving away power as a council to this authority to make that decision. We would no longer be making those decisions. And so that's why it's imperative, in my view, that as we create this Land Bank Authority, that the council has a good hand in this, because we're essentially giving away our responsibility. And so we need to make sure we're doing this, that we do it right, and that we have selection of those people to serve. So it's been handed to the attorney, Mr. Goldman, Attorney Goldman, to look at and to bring us back something. It won't be ready for Tuesday. Just wanted to give you an update of where we were on the Land Bank Authority information. You also remember we received a resolution to purchase properties from the state of Alabama. I think a lot of them were in Councilwoman Thomas's ward. A bunch of them were. That also has been handed to the attorney, Mr. Goldman, to review, because those two things will go hand in hand. That Land Bank Authority will have some say on those properties. And so this is important and it's good, and I commend them for bringing this to us. It's a great idea that was submitted by the administration. We just want to make sure the council does its due diligence in this. So just want to update you where we were on the Land Bank Authority. It's not being ignored. We're just working on it. All right, and the next thing, Bloody Sunday. And we put Bloody Sunday 2023, but really and truly, Bloody Sunday 2023 is upon us. We have one more month, and then it's Bloody Sunday reenactment. And so it's going to be kind of difficult for us to do something, but I want the council to consider this. When the city of Montgomery has the reenactment of the bus boycott, city leaders are heavily involved with that. They have activities they put on. I would like for this council, and I'm trying to take nothing from it because I go to all of the activities, but I would like for us as a council to consider coming up with an activity we can host during that weekend. Not trying to take nothing from anybody, but we need to be proactive and do something on that side. The city of Selma needs to sponsor an event. The city of Selma needs to be a part and not just a participant.
That's right.
But we need to be the ones that actually sponsor something. So this year is too late, because we don't want to rush something and put something together that's not worthy of Selma, Alabama. We want to produce a good product. And so what I would like to do is, in the coming weeks, is to form a 2024 Bloody Sunday Reenactment Committee from the council, and that we come up with some kind of activity to be a part of this celebration. We're not going to interfere with what's going on. We're going to continue to support that. But one of those events that's listed needs to be a City of Selma City Council event. We need to have something that we plan for the people that come to Selma. So if you would like to be a part of that committee as a council person, let me know. Volunteers, I knew Councilwoman James, I knew she would bite at it, and Councilman Carmichael, excellent, and anybody else that was just Ellison, good, and so good. And so we will start planning, and if we start planning something a year out, it ought to be a really, really good event. If we take this bit of time to plan something out. And that way, when they put that flyer out, they can put City of Selma event on there too. And I think that'll be great. Okay, and next, Y'all remember we voted back in the fall to do an educator of the month and a student of the month. And we were going to start in 2023. We would like to try to have it at our second meeting of the month. So the education committee over this week and next week will be going to the schools and getting those recommendations of students of the month and also for educators of the month. And then what we'll do at that council meeting, we will have those students and those teachers come. We'll read a bio about that student and about that teacher, and we'll present them something from the council to let them know we're proud of them and we thank them for what they're doing. And hopefully we'll be able to get some sponsors and be able to give them something to let them know, a little something, a token, to let them know we're proud of them and what they're doing. So hopefully, cross the fingers that we can get, because our schools are swamped right now. Now, as counselors, principals, teachers, we got a lot going on. So if we can't get it at the end of the month, maybe we can start in February. We're going to try to have it at the end of the month when we present our first student of the month and our educator of the month. So I just want to put that back in your mind. Councilwoman James.
President Young, I want to go back about MLK Day.
Okay.
Reverend Bolton, did I say your name right? I'm always
Boyd.
He always do something on MLK Day as well. So I told him he's not on the agenda, but he said there's something in everyone's box.
Okay.
Box. But can we allow him to just say one thing about what
Okay.
not allowed to pass out if you all need it now? I think he was just trying to see where his event are gonna coincide with the event that we have planned.
Okay. As a council person, if you need information from somebody, you can request a person to speak. So if you want him to say something, you can ask.
Okay, but President, I asked that we have Reverend Boyd just come and tell us about what he will be doing on January 16th, MLK Day. Very brief.
Very quickly. Good evening.
Good evening.
Council President. These all new people here. Thank you. Again, we stand before you on behalf of the Safe Haven Center. Safe Haven Center started this move. This is the 23rd anniversary of the Stop the Violence movement. We invented this because of the mass killings that went on. One year we had 24, and you know all that story, one we lived it, all that, but you know, that's when it started, 23 years ago. And we continue to do this march, the Peace March that Dr. King did back in '65. We used the same route from Brown Chapel Church, south, turn to Broad Street, make the south, make a left again to the Emmons Bridge. Now we need your support. We have several groups that's coming here, and we sponsor these people. Our t-shirts alone for this movement, this year we're doing 200. They're running $1,700. Now we know you got a tight budget. We just asking your support and to show that you support us as we go out into the weather the street. We're the only organization, and I go code on code, that works from the street, the courthouse, the jailhouse, the penitentiary. Yours personally do conflict resolution in the penitentiary and the jailhouse. And basically in the street troopers need. We're one of the few organizations that carry on a syndicated talk show, 105.3 WBFZ, where we talk about violence, we talk about our young people. So we're here for your support.
Thank you. Okay. Can you give us that time again?
That time, you have to give a copy of this.
I don't have a copy of it. It's probably my box downstairs in this lot.
It's from 2 o'clock on January 16th, Dr. King's celebrated birthday.
2 p.m.
From 12,
Okay.
where we congregate at Brown Chapel Church and march here in Petersburg.
Okay.
And so the reason why I got it was because we knew the idea about the children coming, young people coming, and if we can get them an hour just to march with us to the bridge, that would be good. At that time, if we got some young people that we can pick out to march with us, so we can at least look like they're marching. Because a lot of times nobody shows up. Everybody's doing something else, and they think somebody's doing it, but nobody's doing it.
Well, we targeted 100 young people. The ones that we targeted between the ages of 18 and 25. These are people I see in the jailhouse. These are people I see in the courtroom. These are people I see in the penitentiary. So that's the group that we're targeting.
And the students that are coming from Auburn, I know they're on tight,
Right.
specific, then they gotta get back to already, but I can ask.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I do, I ask, and if they
We
can.
got 2 high school bands coming, so it should be.
Right, right, and then the other thing is, if there is a mixed incorporated breakfast for Dr. King, is there gonna be one?
To my understanding, yes, it's on Monday as well.
Okay, see, they don't come out after they have the breakfast at 12 o'clock, it's over with. They need to come out to that march. And so me and Reverend Bowen have been doing it because I archived it, and I found out no one was coming out. No one is coming out to do their event. This is Selma. Everybody is thinking that this event is going on. And so that's how me and him took up the event, because we knew that it made no sense for us to celebrate Dr. King and ain't nobody showing up. And this comes in with when people are voting in and they're voted out, they forget what they're doing. But because I was archiving and putting it up there, we knew, me and him knew that somebody should have been doing something.
Councilman Jennison.
Yes, I understand exactly what you're saying, and what you probably need to do, I ain't telling you what you need to do, but I'm saying what you probably should do, at the least breakfast, hook up with somebody you know, or you can go there yourself.
And give up.
And give it out, and speak on it.
Very good. All right, thank you all
Thank you
so
for
much.
your time.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And again, the council person had a question, and when the council person has a question at work session, we're a lot more formal during our meetings. Work session, we're a lot more informal. So we wouldn't necessarily do that at a meeting. But in a work session such as this, Councilman James needs to get more information, and so did I. So thank y'all for that and providing that, and hopefully that activity will be successful. All right, council, are there any more items to discuss? All right, now, let's keep this in mind. We went over a whole lot of things. So come Tuesday, the things that we talked about, we should be able to act upon those things. Now, those things, so our meeting should reflect our work session. So we weren't here all night for work session. We should be here all night for meeting. On those things that are on the mayor's report on Tuesday and on the attorney's report, we will ask both of them as chair to present what they have to say. But let's not spend all night discussing matters that we're not going to vote on. We spend the time on things that we're going to vote on. And that's when we lose time and we lose focus when we get off script. So if there's an item that's not on the consent agenda, that's on the mayor's report or that's on the attorney's report, let that be presented. If there's a question, after a while, I'm going to call for a vote as chair. I'm either going to call for a vote or I'm going to ask you to table. But I do not want us to go into this year spending a tremendous amount of time on items that we don't end up voting on, but we just end up fussing about. We got to get things done this year and the next year and the next year, God willing. And so we need to spend our time wisely. For those of us that are young and old enough to remember, on your report card through the elementary school, there used to be sections about using time wisely. There used to be something on everybody's report card. As adults, let us apply that same principle as council members. Use our time wisely. Now, I was okay on that section on the report card, but when it said excessive talking, I always got an X. So, and I think some of us did too. But, let's remember that, and on Tuesday, let's come ready to act, and let's not be here all night on things that we don't have to be on. If there's nothing else, and there's no further business, go ahead.
We need to just bow and stop to remember our clerk, and also our councilperson, Ms. Christy Thomas, she's out sick. Councilman Randolph is out sick, and I don't know about Councilman Johnson, but we need to just stop and pause because, I've been through what Ms. Harrison have been through, and I know it's hard and tough. So, and as citizens and as co-workers and as just lovers of God, we need to pray for each other because everybody one day got to go through what she's going through or someone. So we just want to I've been trying to reach her. She texted one time, but she's not handling things pretty well. So let's just pray for her. I haven't heard of any funeral service. If you have, please let us know so we can do what we got to do. But just keep her in your prayers, and also continue to pray for Councilman Thomas, who lost her mom, and it's still hard. No matter what it is, death is hard. But you got to trust God. Just have to trust God, and we just need to bow our head for a few minutes for just for peace of people's minds. So let's just bow for a minute. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Councilwoman James. Please keep Miss Ivy lifted. Please, 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 please. And also Councilwoman Christy Thomas, our grandfather, she's still coping and dealing with that. Councilwoman James still coping with the loss of her husband. So a lot of us have a lot going on with family members. So thank you for that. There being no further business. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, committee report. Go ahead.
I think we'll try to, I passed out or emailed out the budget work that the executive branch and I had done. Kind of came to a summation of what the two look like on the summary page. I would like to maybe try to have a meeting next week where if there are any last questions, any points of clarification that anybody needs, we'll try to do that, and then maybe get a little next week, so I'll work on it.
Thank you for that. All right, there being no further business of Selma City Council, this meeting stands adjourned.
And Ms. Ellison did tell us we need to get this money to her.
What, nigga, what you need?
$60.
$60 for each of? $60 a piece?
Yeah, we got old bills for flower arrangements for house,